Hi, it's Janet from JRK Handcrafted. I just finished this album up, this mini album, actually today, and thought I would film it just to so I could put it up on my website. I hope everybody's having a great day. This album is heavy, and it will hold 115 photos, and that's not using up some of the blank space that's available. So let's walk you through it. The measurements on this album it's 9 across, 10.5 high, and the spine is 3.25 inches. So it is fairly heavy. It will hold a lot of photos. Let's go through. It's a fairly simple front here. It just has one of the cut aparts here and 2 photo mats for 4x6s on the front there. And you could put something else in there if you wanted to. But for now, that's how I've kind of adorned the front. I don't like anything too splashy and frilly so that it's getting wrecked as it's getting handled. The spine itself, again, just carries actually right around to the back, and then the back is very similar to the front. So you can see this is a fairly chunky album. Okay, let's open her up and see what we have. Now I may have to move it back and forth just so that I can get everything visible to you. Okay, so on the very front, this is actually the front cover and has this really cool pocket. Now I don't have anything in there, but you know, you could slide a couple of photos in there. You could put some memorabilia in there, tickets, whatever. The paper that I used for this is, I suppose you could say it's a bit, well, feminine maybe. Certainly there's florals in it, but I combined a couple of paper packs on this one, just so that I could use some of the grays and be able to have some assortment with the papers. So like I said, this here is an acetate pocket. It will hold very large photos. It's got a little swing tab here to hold it shut, and I'll have to move this. And then this opens up, and here you've got a pocket with a couple of photo mats. And then here, this opens up, and you've got this big area here for photos or just to leave to look at the pretty paper. So you can decide what it is you would like to do with that. I don't believe you'd need to put pictures there. Like I said, this holds 115. So if you wanted to, though, you could. It's the same here. You could put photos on here if you like, but I think that there's going to be more than an opportunity to find room for photos where I have designated spots, and I'll go through some of those as we get through the album. This actually is an envelope which opens up. You've got some indicators here of 4x6s. Now I think I have a 4x6 landscape. I do. So these white spaces, what I sometimes do in my albums, if I will put copy paper down that says remove and replace with a 4x6 or a 3x4. In this case, I left those there. You have a couple of options here. This is a 4x6 photo. Now, if I put that down there, basically that white mat disappears. Now, if I was to cut just a sliver off this and did this, then you'll end up with a white border around it. So, and I think I've got a smaller photo. I'll show you something like that when we get to it. But so if you choose to put it right on top with your 4x6, then that's how those will go. Now I have another 4x6 here, but it's the wrong orientation, but that's what it would look like. So that gives you an idea. So that's what these, the white photo mats are for. It's just to basically tell you where you can place your photos. And again, these ones here, this one here would be a 3x3. I think I have a 3x3. No, I don't. No, I don't have a 4x4. And this is a 4x6. Okay, and those just fit in there. These little bumpers help to hold it in, and then it's magnetized. Okay. And then this closes over. Whoops, sorry, this closes over, this folds back, and then the little swing tab here keeps that nice and tidy. Okay. So that's basically the front cover, and the back cover is very, very similar. So let's go through the pages. The very first thing you have here is kind of a half cut page, or an undercut page. It does have a space here for a photo, and I think I do have. So this would give you an indication of. So this picture here is inside the white border instead of completely covering it. So that'll show you if you wanted to size your pictures down a bit, you can size them down and they'll still look really cool. That white border just stays there. You wouldn't remove that. Okay. So that goes in this little sleeve there. And then here it's got a big tag. And in this tag, you've got room for a 2x3. Okay. And in that case, I think I have a 2x3. Yes, I do. So here's a 2x3 that would go in there. And then that would just slide in this pocket here. Okay. And then the back will hold a 4x6. So a 4x6 in either orientation, because this tag fits in here like this, doesn't necessarily mean that on the back, when you flip it, that you can't put your picture landscape instead of portrait. So that's certainly up to you, whichever way kind of fits what you're doing. When I go through to put my pictures in an album, what I'll do is I'll try to sort out my pictures in landscape and portrait. Then I'll go through the album and I'll kind of just sit them in the places where I think they'll go. Because say I have a picture that can go either portrait or landscape, and I could cut some of it off. That would be a great opportunity to use this for a 4x4. So if you have, and I've cut some of these down already, but let's say this picture you want to put in there, okay? You would just turn around and find a really great place where you don't necessarily need all that sky, and you don't need all the grass. This picture may fit in there just perfectly. It's certainly the right size this way for 4, but you probably could crop it down to make it fit into a 4x4. So I always look at laying my pictures out, kind of placing them where I think they'll go. Some of the ones that are that you can't find any more place for a landscape or a portrait, those ones can be broken down into a 2x3 or a 4x4 or a 3x3. And sometimes you want to kind of get rid of the noise in the background of those photos. So that's a great opportunity to do that. Again, here's a little 2x3 that's just kind of set there, and your photo would just go there, which looks actually really cool. So, and then here you have a large pocket with an insert here that'll hold 2 4x6s, and then a large photo. Now, again, if you were going to put, and this can be turned this way, so if you didn't have a larger photo, there's nothing to say that you couldn't place this in here and have that white border all around it. I don't know if I have, well, I do. I have a 5x7 that would fit there, and it would completely cover the white mat. Okay, so this just slides in here. Okay, we flip it over. And on this side, we have a tabbed, we have a pocket with a tabbed insert, 2 4x4s, a 4x6, and 2 3x3s. Okay, so you'd have a really nice, let me see here, if I can find. Now, none of these pictures, they probably don't all match the same year or whatever. And I don't have enough. Yeah, no. So, but anyways, you can see how that would work. It would just be you would fit your photos in there. Okay, and then here is just a little slide-in pocket, room for 4x4. And there's a little bit of embellishments in this album here and a little bit here, and there's some later on, but there's not a lot of big chunky things. The album itself is already big enough, so I didn't want to put a whole bunch of fluffy embellishments to give it that much more bulk. I think once you add the photos onto this album, it's pretty much going to be all you can handle. Anyway, this opens up room here again, 2 2x3s, a 4x6, 2 4x6s here. This opens up again. Let me move this across here. Opens up again, and you've got 4x6, 2x3, a 2x2. Now, if anybody wants to see how big a 2x2. And a 2x2, I mean, you say, oh, well, I would never have a photo. But I found this picture of, he was a puppy we used to have, and it fits in there perfectly. So, and it really, it kind of gives some variety to your photos. So if you had that picture there, and you had this picture here, and then you had another 4x6 here, it would make a really nice collage. So don't be scared to cut your pictures down. And basically all there was around this puppy was a bunch of snow. So, you know, we don't necessarily have to be looking at all the background stuff. We want to center our attention on the focal person or pet or whatever in the photo. Okay, so this opens up. We've got a pocket in the back, and again, it holds the photo mats back there. Okay, and then this goes this way, this goes this way, this goes this way, and then you've got your tab to keep all that nice and closed for you. Okay, over here we've got a nice pocket. We've got some photo mats on the back, and then we start again. So this is the first page. This is the second page. So here we've got a nice tag with room for a 2x2 and a 3x4, and then a nice big 4x6 in any orientation. So this doesn't have really an orientation of writing to it. So that means that, you know, so it's not like here where you have writing that you really don't want to kind of turn it sideways. But here, this is pretty generic, so it'll go either way. So it doesn't really matter which orientation you put your photo in on that tag. Okay, that opens up, and on this side there's a pocket, room for a 3x3 and a 3x4. Here, just room for a 4x4. And again, this one's cut down a little bit, but you can see how it just leaves a nice border there. So that may be something that, you know, you're thinking of doing. Now, I, of course, have cutters that I can use to do this. And if I was doing mine, I would just put it in, slice it down, and be done with it. But if you're looking to do your photos, then you might just want to use a ruler and a pair of scissors and just kind of cut it up. You may even want to make a couple of acetate templates just to kind of put right over top of your picture to see where you are, and then cut around. Anyway, so then this turns the page here, and again you've got another tabbed insert, so room for a 5x7 and two 3x3s, and that just slides back in there all nice and tidy. Okay, and then we come back again to our kind of our flips and flaps. So we've got our little closure there holding that closed. We open up here, 2 4x4s, 2 4x6s, a 6x6, 3 2x2s, another 2 4x4s, a 3x4, a 4x6, 4x6, 2x3, and 2 4x6s. And then you've got a cute tag here with the 3x4 in the back and a 4x6. And then this cute saying, have faith in yourself. Now you could, once you have your photos in, or even, you know, it doesn't, you can put them this way. They can go either way that you like. And then this folds back, this is back, this is back, this is back, and then the tab closure closes that up. Okay, and then we're on to the back of that page, and we've got a tag and a 4x6. Okay, so on to the last page here. Again, we've got our kind of undercut page here. We have our tag, again, which is room for a 2x2 and a 2x3, and then a 4x4 in the back. When I talked about additional places to put photos, like you'll notice there's lots of space here, and there's nothing to say that if you did run out of room. I've left a very large gusset here. So your pages have ample room, like in there. But believe me, once you start adding your photos on, that'll bulk up a bit. Not to say you can't put a picture here, but fill all your white spaces in first. Like I said, I usually do my photo masks, remove and replace, so that the white actually comes off altogether and you just plunk your picture on here. But I kind of like the idea in this one of having the white in there. I kind of like, I mean, even if you're using a smaller photo, like even that looks really cute. So, you know, I wouldn't, you know, if you don't have enough 4x6s to fill the album, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Like just, you know, put them in here, cut them down a bit, have them fit. I mean, even something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to match exact. It doesn't have to be, you know, exactly half an inch from here, half an inch from there. It's your album. So you can basically organize your pictures as you like. The fun of it is just putting them in there. Don't stress out too much about what goes where. If you're really not sure what you want to do right away, the best thing to do is get some repositionable, what I use for my remove and replace is repositionable glue stick. You can put that on your pictures, tack them down, see if that's where you want them, and then once you decide, you can turn around and permanently put them down there, or you can leave them as they are and then change them a couple of years down the road if you decide. So that's an option as well. If you're really not comfortable with using like a wet glue, you could use just a glue stick or use some of the photo corners, double-sided photo corners. They work well as well. So again, we've got our tag there. Move over here. This is just, again, you could put a photo there if you wanted. What would it look like? This is probably the wrong picture to put there, but that's basically what that, I mean, you know, given that that's a snowy scene, it may not be something, there's a lot of snowy scene as a matter of fact, but that will give you an idea that you can actually put some photos on there as well. Okay, and on this insert here, you could put a photo here if you chose to do so. But on this side, right here are, let's put this down, our small little 2x3 photo mats. And there's four little pockets here. Now they're quite tight, but as you take things in and out and as you put your picture in there, they'll kind of move around, but there's 4 of them here. So those just slide in there. And then on the back side, you've got room for a 5x7. And even your 4x6 looks good there. So, and if you wanted to put the 5x7 and just completely cover that, you can. I would suggest probably that you just kind of snip off a little a quarter of an inch or something on either side and let it have that white border. I think they make the photo stand out really, really well. That just slides in there. Flip that over. We've got a 4x6 mat here, which just basically goes right down here and there. And the reason why we do this sometimes there's just some pattern in the paper that we you know, if I had to put something on here, I'd be losing, you know, the nice graphics in this paper. So by doing it this way, I still can use all the paper, but I can still make sure I can use it for some photo opportunities. Again, here you've got your tabbed insert, which has 2 4x6s and 2 4x4s. That just slides back in there all tidy. Okay, and then we come to our flaps again. So instead of pattern paper on the front, I've actually left this open for photos. I left it for photos. In the one previous, yeah, we had the pattern paper on the front, but here I decided that we would put the photos on. So you've got 2 3x4s, a 4x6, 2 4x4s, 2 4x6s, 2 3x4s, 2 4x4s, and so on and so on and so on. So there's lots here to lots of places to put photos. In fact, you probably will run out of photos before you run out of space. Okay, and here a couple of more photo mats. 4x6 and a 4x4. Oops. Right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right, and tab close. Okay. And this is the back of the third page. Okay, and again, you've got a 4x4 and a 4x6 photo mat. Okay, and now we're on to the last page. And this starts similar to the front page. So the tab is here. Again, this is an open pocket. So as soon as I can get in there. Let me see here now. There we go. I had to get my hands under there. Okay, so this is an open pocket. You can put whatever you like in there. And then on the back here, we've got a couple of photo mats. And then this swings open. And you've got the pretty paper again. Okay. You've got a photo mat here. And this, I've just kind of trimmed it with a bit of scalloped dye here, kind of to match the pattern that was in here. This opens up. Again, this is kind of a deconstructed envelope. You've got some picture opportunities here and here, and then you've got a couple of photo mats here. And these will hold a lot. So even though I only have 2 photo mats in there, I mean, if you have extra pictures, you can either put them here, that you can just kind of stack them in there, or you can put them in here. Now, this is held closed by magnet. Now, you will watch, I have this kind of shuffled to this side, so the magnet will hit. If you put it there, it's not as sturdy. It will grab, but not as well. That's why I have that placed over there. And then this closes up, this closes up, this is tabbed, and that's the back. I hope you enjoyed my little travel through, or my journey through this album. There's lots to see in it. It's got beautiful papers. The colors are just exquisite. They're very rich, the deep navies and burgundy pinks, and then some taupes and whites to kind of balance it off. So again, this is the album will hold, at least where the white papers are, will hold 115 photos. But as you can see in the album, there's more than enough opportunity to add some additional ones. Now, this is quite heavy, so I would suggest that you only put in what actually will cover the mats. Otherwise, it just may become too unmanageable. And you know, it is paper and whatnot, so you don't want to be putting too much stress on the album. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of this album, and yeah, check it out. And hopefully you'll have a look at some of the other albums that are up on my site, JRK Handcrafted, and some of them might interest you. This one is a more generic album. Some of the other ones I have are Halloween, Christmas, which, you know, are more themed. But this one you could really use for anything. You actually could use it even for a wedding album, or just a genealogy one, so family memories, that type of thing. Or, you know, maybe you want to make it for your mom for Mother's Day, with some pictures from back when you were young or whatever, and take her through the years. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed, like I said, the journey through the album, and yeah, I hope we'll chat soon. Bye now.